Oh my god, I just saw an amazing tweet 8 hours ago. Riot Games. After evaluating multiple offers, we have reached an agreement to return Hytale to Simon Hypixel, giving this community its best shot at experiencing a revised version of the game. Wishing the team best of luck for what's ahead. Oh my god. Hytale is back on the menu, boys. We ought to hightail it out of here. Or something like that. I don't know. Damn. Wow. Like, holy shit. That's, that was not on my bingo card, I tell you. Okay. Good. So, how have you all been this wonderful day? Is my shit updating? There we go. Okay. Sometimes YouTube preview is rather slow. So, yeah. So, how have you all been? Hey, Worm. Hey, Zen. Hey, Top Hat. Hey, Pingling. And Copperator. And Cody Ledger. And anybody else I may have missed. So, yeah. Hytale. I just kind of assumed that whatever talks they were in the midst of had just kind of fell through. Because I didn't hear anything about that for... well, pretty much ever since the initial canceling, and then they were kind of scrounging around to get stuff together, and then it worked. Genuinely surprised. Wow. Hey, I'm happy if it can work out. Yeah, I'm happy. I would love to play Hytale. And they did say they were going to immediately get it as good as possible to be put out onto the market. So that means we may be playing Hytale within the next month or two. Hytale may be one of the first big game releases of 26. And it's so weird to think of 2026, but like we're only 2 months away from, you know, full 2026 stuff. 2025 is basically over, everyone. God, what a year it has been, I tell you. What's crack-a-lackin', Jacka? I am building things for the stuff that I want to make. So this is, and I guess I'm giving you guys an advanced sort of peekaroo at the Arkhanrettia arena shooter, which will be a sort of, and this is the kind of footprint that it has. This will be the game that we play as a sort of distraction game. It's going to go right here. I have a spot dug out for it on 2B. And so, yeah, this will be that for whenever, and obviously I didn't download far out enough, but whatever. Yeah, this will be the game for when Escape the Jackrooms 2 is currently being played by somebody. So this will be the distraction, if you will. And yeah, I think it'll turn out good. I'm framing it in a similar sort of style to the Ocean's Anomalous arena shooter, which was just kind of like this random idea that I had that I really loved, and turned out pretty good. So we're going to make the game itself function, as well as the redstone to make that work. Because there's a fair bit of redstone, however, it's fairly simple as well. So making this work won't be too bad. Oh, wait. Shit, that should be... There we go. Yeah, there we are. So yeah, I'm just putting the finalized touches on the design. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with this so far. Hello, Cody. The base that I was at on 2B was Infinity Base 2, and I'm at Infinity Base 3. Okay. Neat. Hey, Jack. Yeah, guess what? I can walk with my boot. All right. Your leg's almost healed. Glad to hear it. You've had a lot of recuperation you've had to do. I know that hadn't been easy. Are you on any pain meds still, or have you basically recovered enough? What was that banger playing? Okay, so there is this really cool, and I suspect I'm gonna just preface this now. I suspect this is AI generated. Huh? Oh no! Oh no! Is it gone? Holy fuck! I'm so glad. No, it's still here. Okay, stop, you piece of shit. There we go. Okay, never mind. His channel's not deleted. Oh my god. I was about to be like... Anyway, this is the guy I got all of the music from. I downloaded it, basically. Using a YouTube downloader, that is. And, yeah. I don't want this music vanishing. I suspect it's AI generated, but the guy who made it is like, I don't care what you do. So I assume it's fine. So I'm just going to use it as background music because it's very good for that. And even if it's AI generated, I don't care. Sounds good. I enjoy good free stuff. Okay. So yeah, this place is turning out pretty good. But there's no direct confirmation from Level Select, whoever that is. The channel I linked. There's no direct confirmation that it is AI generated. I just suspect that. So I don't want anyone to think, you know, that it is haram for whatever reason. This is just my own personal gut instinct telling me. But music generating from AI has gotten so good it's very difficult to tell. They can fool you now. Picture generation and video generation are like a year, maybe 2, out from being that good. So, ah well, what can you do? Oh, shit. I'm gonna have these be... Do that. Place that with this. So yeah, I'll just enjoy what I will enjoy in the meantime. But yeah. Week 8, okay. And then I made a video on that. Oh. Well, that's very neat. I'm glad the hightail stuff's getting more recognition. I mean, we were all waiting with bated breath, so I'm very glad that this had a happy ending. I just don't know what to expect from hightail quite yet. But it is good to know that you have Mojang releasing the Java source code, and then you got all this sort of shiftiness going on behind the scenes that it seems like they're going to try and kill Java Minecraft. And now the biggest competitor to Java Minecraft has just suddenly dropped. And it's like, no, I don't think they'll be dropping, or they'll be killing Java Minecraft anytime soon. Because hightail will absolutely make them regret that decision. And that's good, because I want to play both. I want to love both. I mean, obviously, I can't really love a game that I've not played yet. But I want to assume this is, like, gonna turn out well. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Hightail. Let's hightail Mojang out of here. They'll have to actually step up and compete. And that's good for both games, in all honesty. It's good for both communities. It's good for everyone. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Is that a... Yes, that is a thing. You know what? Fuck it. That's actually really cool. These are holes that if you're smart, you can snipe through. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. I like the idea of a sniping hole. Ooh. Oh, yeah, wait, whoa. I'm having a brain thingamabob. Yeah. You can get up here and shoot at people down there. Oh, that's great. Glad I thought of it. Cool. So yeah, very cool. Another arena shooter. Yes, this is the next arena shooter. The Arkhanrettia arena shooter. But I designed the one at Ocean's Anomalous by hand over the course of about a week, maybe a little under a week. And for a very simple game like this, as long as you got a working, functional game environment, it's actually very simple to get working. It's just a redstone system to act as a timer, an item delivery system, and then an on-off switch, and I think that's everything. So yeah, should be cool. And we will be getting to the redstone here shortly. I just need to finish up this little bit of designing. So yeah, for those of you wondering, this is basically how I design a lot of things. I will just take a rough... for those of you who have not yet watched my video on how to build good, I just give a sort of rough style or rough space, and then I iterate on it, and I add things to it. And that tends to create a more interesting thing overall. Ooh. So yeah. Good news today. Very good news. They may be releasing the Epstein files soon. I admit that's probably a pipe dream, but hey, you know, it's good news. Hightail just sort of got the revival that it desired, or that it needed. And yeah. life is actually all right. How are you guys? Yeah, hopefully everybody is good. How have you been, Coperator? Haven't really talked too much to you. The thought of Java being nuked is scary. Yeah, and it's definitely, like, it's one of those things where, like, if your cat, let's assume you have a pet cat, for those of you who don't. If you had a pet cat, and it could talk and speak human, and you put delicious chicken down in front of that cat, and then you tell the cat, don't you dare eat that chicken, would the cat not immediately go, no, I don't want to eat that chicken at all. No, I wouldn't dare dream of eating that chicken. And the instant you turn your back, what will you expect to have happen? The cat will be eating the chicken, of course. Not even a slight, like, doubt in my mind. Like, it's just oh yeah, of course the cat would eat the chicken when you have your back turned, right? Duh, of course. And so Mojang is just like, and it's like having that cat paw at the chicken a little bit, and then just scoot up to it slightly, little bit by little bit by little bit, and just continually make you think that everything is fine. But you know it isn't. You know full well what the intent is. You're not fooled. You shouldn't be. You know, you shouldn't be surprised by what all is being done. They released the source code. Those rat bastards at Mojang, they released the source code. And they're like, no. We're not gonna kill Minecraft. It's fine. See? We love the modding community. But you all know deep down, we all understand what the game is. We know what's actually happening. Nobody's stupid. Nobody is unaware, or at least nobody should be unaware. So yeah, I'm just of the opinion that I know full well what these people want and why they want it. I get their tactics. They aren't slick. You know what I mean? Nothing is, nothing happens in a vacuum. Oh shit, that's the exit. Okay. Can I slip in a light source down there? Let's make it recessed a little bit. So yeah, it's just obvious that they're not going to play nice if, for whatever reason, they are given the okay by their corporate overlords. They will, they'll put a bullet through Minecraft and they will kill the golden goose that lays the golden eggs, and then I guarantee you they'll wonder how and why they went wrong. But oh well. If Mojang one day stopped updating Java, that will not be that dramatic. People, us, having being updated thinks in the game since the beginning. Okay, Zen. I think I understand what you're trying to say. I agree. It will be kind of expected. And so yeah, it might not be dramatic. I don't know. It's also uncertain. I wish I could give you like a definitive sort of understandable explanation, but like we all know what the deal is, right? There's no real surprise here. At least not ready. At least not really. Yeah, I just it all just sucks, man. Okay. So, enough of the Debbie Downerisms. let's figure out how to make this game work. Okay, so I need a sign. This will actually, wait. I could probably do a thing in FreeCam. Yeah, like right here. Yeah, that'll work. On/off switch. Yeah, because I can just... We can all come in here. I'll FreeCam through the window. And bam, or through the wall, and bam. That should theoretically be good enough. Okay. Oh. Let's get a regular piston instead. Okay, doorway is right here. Yeah, that'll work. What's an easy way? Oh, target blocks. Just because I don't want to use any space that I don't have to use. There we go. Okay, so that will keep that reasonably... Wait a minute. Oh. Wait, does that still... No. Shit. Redstone dot here should be fine, right? That... Fuck. Shouldn't activate anything that it shouldn't activate, right? Bam. That turns it off. Oh. Okay, so these are just... All right, on and off. So this prevents okay, you can't get out. Good. This prevents a player from running around in here and then artificially exiting the game and then, you know, ending the game for everybody. But also, the winner, when the last man is standing, the winner can then go and just flick the lever off and be done. And that blocks everybody in at the same time. Okay, so down is on. Get some dye, light gray, some glow ink. Okay. All right, next thing. So that's the switch that shuts off the door so that you can't leave while the game is running. Now we need to have the game actually turn on. So I want to also... This time I'm going to start using rails as well as observers because this is just the most efficient way to communicate a signal outward. And upward and all that. Okay, so I want to turn off these beacons. Oh, whoops, got to be back a block. Going to shower, be right back. Okay. All right, that cucks the beacons, so the beacons will activate when the game is on. The beacon should be off when the game is off. So currently I have it set to off. So if the switch is up, it's off. If the switch is down, it's on. So I actually need these, whoops, to be in their proper state. There we go. Okay. I could just carry this down. Like this. That's not going to light that. I need to... I don't have much height. I mean, I guess I can just do it this way, right? Yeah, duh, that's the easiest way. What am I thinking? Well, actually, in that case, let me move all this down. Okay, so I need to come down. Where is... Okay, so that's over there. So I need to come down like this. It's about to like right there. Okay. Stack 5 or 6, I think. Yeah, that'll work. Arkansas shooter. Oh no. Hopefully Minecraft Java can be preserved with the release of the source code. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be preserved. But it's not a preservation thing. It's a... You're not going to officially be able to play Minecraft Java Edition. At a certain point, they'll cut off the servers. Like, at a certain point, the reason the death of Java would be so bad is that at a certain point, they're not going to have to care about it. Which means that if you end up, for whatever reason, needing to log in to their authentication servers, you're out of luck. And that means that you're at their mercy from now on. Of course, we were kind of always at their mercy. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And well, we can't help that, I guess, but fuck if that's not bleak. Because the moment that it's inconvenient for them to continue running the authentication servers, that's it. And if you think for even a second you're going to get the code to be able to run your own authentication servers, you got another thing coming. And if you think you can run your multiplayer server when they're done, no. No, yeah, that's a pipe dream. You are not going to be allowed to play Minecraft Java Edition when they say it's done. When they're done, you're done. You might be able to play single player, and you might be able to spoof some sort of login for a single player world. But all servers will become pirate servers. And you better believe they're gonna crack the fuck down on that. No way in hell they're gonna let you have that kind of fun. Let's put it right here. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm going way out of the way for no reason. There we are. That should do it. Bam, bam. Okay. That was a simple, easy line to set up. All right. So, I'm currently not getting beacon effects because the beacon's off. And the door is open so that everything's good. Oh, let me do a where's it? Redstone lantern. There it is. Redstone lamp. I'm going to put that there for the moment. If lamp is on, game in progress. Okay. If this lamp is on, don't come a knocking. Oh. Shit nuggets. How do I power that? I thought I would be able to get into the wall here, but no, I'm not going to be able to do that. Okay, we'll just put that there like so. I mean, that is really just the simplest. And then we should be awash in beacon effects. Oh, we may not be able to get effects over here. Ooh, where does the beacon end? Wait, that's a problem. I can always move it closer. It's not that big of a deal, but it is annoying if I don't get beacon effects in certain parts of the game. You got speed 2, and that's it. No jump boost? Regen, okay. So where does the coverage end? Okay, so it's like right up here. Okay. Theoretically, if I could move it under everything and then just like put it down here. Something like that. I don't know. Bluetooth redstone, a little bit. In that scenario, I wonder what would happen to 2B. It would die. I mean, we would somehow have to... We'd have to figure out a way to preserve it. But like realistically, in that scenario, 2B would be cooked. As I said, don't expect Mojang to be, you know, gracious in allowing people to continue running their servers. Or Microsoft or whoever. Man, I hate that redstone pops off like that, even though it's a proper selection. Whatever. Okay, that'll work for the moment. I love Railstone. It's such a cool concept. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. There we go. All right, so we have a mechanism that turns the game on. The lamp is on, so the game's in progress. Actually, I'm going to put that there. All right, if the lamp is on, game's in progress. Bam. So we're still probably not getting the beacon effects over here. I mean, as long as we're in the game, or the game arena, rather, and I get the beacon, good enough. How far away do I have to be? Okay, so like right there. Is it all right up in here? It fades away, but I think that's fine. Good enough. I don't think we got to do anything super fancy with the beacon. So yeah. All right. Let's turn this back off. Everything worked? Yes, everything worked. Okay. Love it when a plan comes together. All right. I could probably have snaked that around or some shit, but whatever. I don't think it matters that much. Hey, Jack, you can't be in creative on 2B, bro. Oh, no. Oh, no. Anyway, wait, is this like an escape room? No, this is an arena shooter. The point is that it's a multiplayer kill arena. It's just a fun game to spend time while someone is playing Escape the Jackrooms 2. This is a distraction, if you will. So yeah. Don't read too deeply into it. This is a very simple, very easy thing to make, and Escape the Jackrooms 2 will be a lot longer and a lot more troublesome. So, you know, don't be surprised. Okay, focus. All right, so this is our on-off switch. I can take a signal off of this. Where should the brain... I guess the brain should be like in the middle? Somewhere here? I guess like right here is fine. Stack a little platform. I mean, it doesn't need to be that big. I mean, it can be big, but it doesn't need to be that large. Bam, bam, bam. Stack that like 5. Why do you all keep fucking popping off? You damn rails. Okay, so that'll lead down to here. Actually, that's not enough. 7. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, that'll work. So down to here. So, oh. Good enough. There we have it. Okay. So, from here, I can take a signal off this switch to, obviously that directly turns on the lamp. It shuts the door so that nobody can exit the game in progress. And it comes down here to the brain, or what will be the brain, and it starts the clock. Ow. Ow, my fingers. There we go. And it starts... Actually, move that 2 blocks that way. Cool. It starts our clock that reads off of these comparators. And ordinarily, that would stop everything. So this is our on-off switch, like that. So the game is currently off. Good. That's what we need. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Right where I want it to be. There we are. Okay. And so that will strongly power and turn off this clock. Or not. Oh, god damn it. Why did I do that? I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Okay, now I need... I guess we'll just get, like, stone. That'll work. Oh, right. Need that. There and there. Okay. And so every... Actually, this should be like that, because that's off. Oh. This may need a repeater into it. Yeah, it's going to need a repeater. That should shift it to be permanently off. Right, this should freeze this. Yeah, okay. And then when the piston moves that away, now the clock can freely shift stone between it. Okay, so this is an Etho hopper clock, for those of you who don't know. Etho is a great redstoner. Shit. There we go. He invented so many useful devices and items and things. Okay. So this is our clock that will drive the functions in the game. The big thing that I've not actually bothered to do yet is where do I put... Turn Fulbright off. Where do I put the item droppers? So what I want is for there to be some kind of uncertain... the reason the clock is important is that every 45 seconds or so, I want this thing to shift and change states. And when it does, I want that to be carried off via this observer here. I want everything to fire. Now, so from this dropper, or from this observer rather, I'm gonna send a signal off to every single one of these droppers, wherever I choose to put them. And I do want to put them probably in these alcoves. Like, probably only in these alcoves. Because if you notice, I've got a set of 5 on this edge, a set of 5 on this edge, this down here, and so on. I want these to be ammo alcoves. I want these to be the spots where you can expect some kind of ammunition. Because as I said, we're going to be shooting each other. Well, we shoot each other with bows. And so, that's where that will be. That forces you to go into these alcoves to get ammo. But not every single one of these alcoves has an equal chance of dropping an arrow. And it's a dropper specifically so that it drops the arrow, not shoot it at you. Okay. So, and you're not going to see, these immediately. These will be covered by item frames. And so you're not going to notice right away that these are the areas where the ammo comes out of. But hopefully it will, the sort of situation will alleviate itself. You know, people will figure it out. And that also makes you have to go into these alcoves. It gives you a reason to. Because these are actually quite a bad place to be, because they're dead ends. You know, you go down this way, you may be camping an ammunition store, but like you're a sitting duck. One person just needs to round the corner and shoot you, and you're dead. So like you really kind of want to duck into these alcoves and then leave. You don't really want to hang out here. At least that's the idea. Etho clock, yes. The Ethonian redstone formulas. Hey Jack, quick question. Explain to me how the hell you found the first 32 Ks. Well, okay. So, they were uploaded onto the server via Tristan's FTP server. He was uploading region files to 2B2T as a means of dominating the server. And when he did that, oh, and that's another thing. I need to designate that these alcoves are what they are. I want people to know, hey, this is where ammo is. Ammo alcoves. So he had done that in late 2015, shortly after Imperator's base had been found. They pasted Imperator's base onto the server 3 times from what we suspect. We know definitively it was twice, but, you know, something like that. And that ended up being a really big, contentious thing. And then eventually they investigated Tristan. It was James Russell's, Kane's Law, and a few other people. They investigated Tristan and found his FTP server and noticed that it had region files on it. And they wondered, could those spots and those region files, could they in some way be linked to 2B2T? And so sure enough, they went there and found that there were indeed strange, unexplainable chunks found at those locations. And so, as it turns out, that was a gigantic stash, supposedly one of many, that Tristan was going to put onto the server. From what we understand, that project got nixed by George Bush 420, the then owner of the server, and they didn't end up getting to put as many stashes as they wanted to onto the server, but man, were they gonna. And it just sort of ended up being a big kerfuffle because we caught them red fucking handed. And they tried their best to play it off as like, oh, no, we didn't put things on the server. No, we didn't have access to the server, even though they very clearly did. It was just a big mess. And they kept trying to make it seem like it wasn't what we thought it was, and it was, and that was the end of it. So that was it. Also be descriptive, sure. I mean, they had access to the server through the shitty fucking website that George Bush 420 installed. They gave him a website and said, here, run this. Because we were supposed to have a website. And he raised money for this website. And it went belly up. We suspect the money was just funneled into running the server. Because, you know, server costs. And that was that. And so, with no server, with no website, everybody was kind of like, well, what the hell happened? Turns out, the nerds made him a website, and he ran it on the same server box as the actual, you know, 2B2T itself. And so, yeah, that was immediate access to everything. What an absolute mess that was. And so that's how Imps 2, and we suspect in Imps 3, ended up being pasted onto the server. And that was that. And, well, what can you do, really? Can't prove it. Yeah, exactly. We all suspect, but we don't know for sure. And I wouldn't be surprised. Whoops. If it comes out that, yeah, there's an Imps 3, you know, I wouldn't be shocked. There's probably no trail of any kind leading to it, so you would need to sort of figure out some kind of a pattern and then work backwards from there. I don't know. Just is what it is. Okay. So, the ammo alcoves have been designated. Now, I need to pull a signal off of this brain and make every single alcove fire their contents, but not reliably. The reason for that is, I don't want people knowing they'll always be able to go to X location and get ammunition. I want that to be a bit uncertain. I want you to have to scramble to get ammunition, because I find that to be fun. If you have to scramble, it's more of a gamble. And if it's a gamble, there's a chance for you to mess up. And I find that to be more fun and more amusing. A guarantee makes things a little too easy. At least in my opinion. Wait, what? I just joined. Okay, we were referring to and talking about the 32Ks, how they came to be, how Imperator's base got copied, and just a bunch of stuff like that. Like, it's all just sort of one big conglomerated story. It all happened back to back, pretty much. Like, I wish I could give you some sort of assurance that it was a one-off, but like, I don't know, man. I can't do this going down. It's got to be either horizontal or going up. So it's got to be, I got to go down at some point. There we go. Ooh, 10? That's a little excessive, but I think that's fine. Yeah, that'll work. So anyway, yeah, that was basically the story of Imps 2, possibly Imps 3 if Imps 3 is real, and a potential sort of... Oh, well, obviously that's also a teaser for Storytime with Jack, because that's coming up. I'm going to try and have that out by Christmas Day. I don't want to go too deep into the weeds with that, but, you know, it's stuff that happened. Sorry if some of that was a little too confusing. Just because, like... Well, I do have to kind of leave some ambiguity so that you'll watch the episode. And well, yeah, that's basically how 32Ks came to be. And how Imps got copied, how the nerds ruled 2B2T for a while. How Nerds Inc. as a whole formed, actually. In a weird sort of way. And yeah, it's just like a huge cascade of events after events after events. Like, how did XYZ thing happen? Well, actually, like, the end of 2015 sets up, like, 3 or 4 major happenings back to back. And yeah, like, that's how the server landscape happened prior to Rusher. I mean, I could go into it more, but, you know, I do want to save a lot of that for the Storytime with Jack episode. There's a lot of crazy stuff to cover. So yeah, 32Ks were a byproduct of all that. Okay. Now I can... Wait a minute, is this far out enough? I bet it isn't. Okay. Signal, power, no, not nearly far out enough. Shite. That's easy fix, though. This is why we do stuff in creative mode. Move that out a few more blocks. Okay. So each one of these ammo dispensers is gonna have a chance to misfire and not give you ammo. Because as I said, an ammo alcove cannot be a reliable sort of thing. Christmas 2015, most important day. I mean, it's not just that. That's like the culmination of a lot of things that happened. And would set the tone for life going forward, pretty much. Like, Christmas Day 2015 was a wild ride, but it was one among many wild rides we were all soon to have. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I need a comparator. Comparator. Hopper. Dropper. Perfect. Okay. This will see the line and do something, which will fire this dropper. This dropper will have a bunch of one single stack items and then one non-stackable item. I'm thinking it's probably going to be 1 in 5, so like 1, 2, 4 unique stackable items. Dirt, grass, stone, cobblestone, something like that. And then a 5th non-stackable item, so probably a wooden shovel or something, some easy non-stackable item to produce. And so when this sees the signal coming down this line, it will fire the dropper. And one of the 5 items will end up in this hopper and then immediately be funneled back into the dropper. If it's a single stack item, it will only power 1 bit of redstone. But if it's the non-stackable item, it'll power 3, which reaches the dropper, which will spit out an arrow for ammunition into the ammo alcove. And that's how you get your arrows to shoot each other with. And so that's how it works. It has to be 3 bits long, otherwise it does not function. Oh shit. Okay. And then these barrels will just have spare... We could probably use the shulker box here, too, if we get some of that. Spare arrows go in here. They fell on the hopper or dropper. You get the idea with that. Yeah. I'm not going to fill any of these up because I know, A, this system works, and B, the schematic isn't going to tell me, hey, there's shit in this dropper. Like, I don't know that. It's not going to be able to tell me that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Okay, now this line is gonna have to be probably redstone. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's not gonna reach. Redstone's about the only thing I know that is capable of doing it. Okay, so there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No! Damnation. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it doesn't even reach. It's not long enough. I hate that. I wish there was a way to make a line reach longer, but 15 is just the limit. I mean, obviously I can do a repeater here, and I don't guess that, like, matters. Although this is going to be a one-tick pulse. I gotta wonder, is that repeater... Yeah, that's going to be a problem, isn't it? Because, see, this is a one-tick pulse line. And this repeater might extend it out to make this hit twice. Let's test. This should be only a singular redstone block. Okay. Yeah, it was only a singular redstone block. Okay, so I don't think this repeater extends the length of the signal enough to make it shoot twice. Because that's why I don't like using redstone repeaters with single tick lines. It has the chance to lengthen, engorge, if you will, the duration of the redstone's signal, and I don't like that. Okay, but it's only spitting out one item, so I think that's good enough. Just so long as it behaves, that's more or less good enough. Wait, do you collect maps? Yeah, I do. Stash freebie? Okay, that's nice. They still wanted the clout for finding a griefing Space Falcon 3. I mean, I guess. You know, that's par for the course, really. Wanting clout is like breathing for a lot of people. 3, there we go. And you know, they can be mad that they didn't get that. If they're mad, they can be mad. If they're not mad, then they can not be mad. 3. I don't really give a shit either way. I'm on to my next project. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I hate that rails only reach 9 blocks. I wish they'd reach the full 15. But what can you do? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good enough. That'll work. Six, 7, 8, 9. Bam. I'm just gonna copy this. Okay, fingers. Work. There we go. It's probably good enough. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 6, 9. Now then. What's with all these Half-Life 3 news appearing lately? We are heavily under the impression that there is a Half-Life thingamabob on the horizon. They are in the midst of doing something, and it's Half-Life 3 related. I couldn't tell you for sure. I hope it's true, but, like, I'm not about to get my hopes up. I'm just like, hey, if it's true, cool. Yay, that solves the long-standing mystery. And if it ain't true, then haha, I was never a believer to begin with. Would I love Half-Life 3? Of course. Even if it's not Half-Life 3, even if it's a Half-Life universe entry of some kind, I would love that. I just want some sort of closure. I want this to work. Honestly, I really do. Actually, speaking of Half-Life 3, me and my brother, funny enough, we came up with an ending for Half-Life, or the Half-Life series as a whole, a Half-Life 3. We came up with a really, I think it's a banger fucking ending to, like, tie the whole series up with a nice pretty bow, and it all works. And it continues to make Gordon a tragic character. I'll explain here in a bit. Let me get all these bits in place. Good enough. Actually, I need to go and get something to drink. I will be right back. Yeah, I think you're gonna love my Half-Life 3. It's fan fiction, but, like, I'd like to think it's very well made. It's pretty well written, I would say. I don't know, I'm tooting my own horn. Like, I haven't even told you about it, and I'm tooting my own fucking horn. But I would like to think I know the Half-Life series well enough to be able to write a competent ending for it. So yeah, uno momentum por favor. I am back. Alrighty. Now then. That was fairly tasty. Okay. Uno momento, por favor was close. Oh, Zen. Zen, you clearly just don't get it. Uno momentum por favor is obviously a parody. I know how to pronounce it, but I intentionally mispronounce it for the lulz. Oh well. Maybe one day you'll get my humor. Anyway. Alright. Half-Life 3. How it should have ended. Ooh. Alright. So, first things first. I have to assume, and I hate doing that, but I have to assume you have an elementary understanding of the Half-Life lore, of all the things that could have been, and you have to know about Half-Life 2, or Half-Life 2 Epistle 3, as it was called. The proposed ending Mark Laidlaw was gonna go with. So you have to know about all that. And also you have to know the ending to Half-Life Alyx. And basically you have to be as up-to-date as possible. That's the idea. 3, 6, 9. Perfect. If you are not, some element of this will not make sense to you. So I apologize in advance if for whatever reason you can't follow my Half-Life 3 ending. You have to just know what's going on. Can't help that. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. There we go. All right, so number one, I'm going to have to play a little catch-up to get some of you on board, those who do not know. So in Epistle 3, the fake fanfiction-y ending of what was supposed to be the ending of Half-Life 2 Episode 3, when Half-Life 2 was doing episodes, that obviously didn't come to pass, thankfully. But the ending for Epistle 3, rather, Half-Life 2 Episode 3, the ending for that was going to be Alex getting kidnapped by the G-Man, Gordon being abandoned by the G-Man, and Gordon being stranded in some far-off time period, hundreds of years down the road. That was the idea. And in my opinion, that would have been a terrible, terrible ending for Half-Life as a whole. Now, whether that would have piggybacked and become, the starting point for another Half-Life, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened with that. Nothing Half-Life 3 or Half-Life 2 Episode 3, nothing of that caliber got off the ground. Valve just couldn't get enough of a team together to make that happen. 6, 7, 8. One more. And that's really sad, but oh well. It's already too late. So, Mark Laidlaw in 2017 released this sort of what-if version of what would be, Half-Life 2 Episode 3. So, in that fake ending of what may possibly have been, they would have found the Borealis in the Arctic, which could, time travel, basically. And using that, they were going to go to the Combine homeworld. And somehow, they were going to, muck up the Combine central area or some shit. They were going to make that somehow. They were going to, kamikaze the Borealis into this big complex of things. It would not have worked. And Gordon himself, when they realized just how in over their heads they were, Gordon himself states, in his sort of internal monologue that, yeah, this was doomed from the start. And well, that's life, They genuinely did not understand the size and the complexity of the Combine as a whole. But I don't think the Combine are the final boss. And in my opinion, the Combine are a terrible final boss. In a lot of ways, the Combine have already more or less been beaten. The remaining forces on Earth are cut off from the homeworld. And the Combine don't really have the resources to do anything about it. Apparently, dialing to Earth requires knowing where Earth is. That basically, they gave everybody something of a, you have several hundred years before the Combine remount a push to come back to Earth and fuck everything up. Well, that's several centuries in which to advance and prepare, right? The 7-hour war was bad because the human race didn't know the Combine were going to come and shit down their throat. that was kind of the point. It only took 7 hours for the whole of humanity to fall to the Combine sieging them. But if you have several centuries heads up, that suddenly isn't so likely. You know, you're not as bad, or down bad rather, for fighting. You might actually be able to mount a sizable resistance. And you know it's coming, so you have a lot of time to prepare and to advance your technology. And also, the beauty of this is the Combine got enough of an ass whooping, and they left enough of their stuff behind that jury rigging and reverse engineering it is entirely doable. Ah, shit. Undo. Wrong spot. And so, it is possible for humanity to get a second chance at the Combine somewhere way, way, way down the line. At least that is the idea. So we're going to run with that in my hypothetical Half-Life 3. We're just going to run with that idea. We're not dealing with the Combine any longer. There may be Combine stragglers, but for the most part, the Combine got their shit pushed in effectively. They're not the big bad anymore. No, the G-Man abducted Alex. The G-Man's the big bad now, and we should treat him as such. He has to be dealt with, and he has to be dealt with summarily. He cannot be allowed in any way, shape, or form to have this victory persist. His victory has to be undone in some manner, right? The G-Man cannot be allowed to get away with abducting Alex. And this is canon. Alex gets abducted at the end of Half-Life Alyx. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen that. So we're going to assume that the ending of Half-Life Alyx is where we're going with this. Gordon is now alone, and it's Eli and Gordon that now have to basically cobble together something of a small resistance to teach the G-Man a lesson. But how do you do that? And this is another thing, as I said, I'm assuming you are completely up to date on your Half-Life lore. And if you aren't, I'm sorry, this is going to lose you. So many, many, many moons ago, Mark Laidlaw LARPed on Twitter as an account called Breen Grub, which, again, this is going to be outlandish, but you gotta just bear with me. Breen Grub was Dr. Breen, the main antagonist of Half-Life 2, in the body of a grub, one of the Combine advisors. And he goes on to state that he's being monitored and that he is under a lot of duress and stress because he doesn't understand exactly what his circumstances are. The Breen Grub thing, the reason that's important, is that Breen Grub would come up again in Half-Life 2 Episode 3, provided that had actually gotten off the ground, which it didn't. But if it had, you would have seen a copy of Breen show back up and be afraid of Gordon Freeman for having somehow killed his original. And, well, we're not necessarily going to go with that idea. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But it is certainly an idea to keep in mind. Now, that's just half of Breen Grub. The second half of Breen Grub is definitely the most interesting. Breen Grub goes on to state what his body actually is. The Combine advisors are a species of bug called the Shahulathoi. And the Shahulathoi are prisoners of the Combine. They were very powerful prophets, philosophers, scientists, they did everything. They were a grub-like insectoid race. Now, on the surface of it, who cares? That's not special. The antlions are bugs. Who cares, right? Well, as it turns out, the Shahulathoi were also powerful psychics. And that in their larval stage, spoiler alert, the Combine advisors are the Shehulathoi larval stage. They have very powerful psychic abilities, but they're ultimately children. Eventually, they have, as all bugs do, they're specifically like caterpillars in a way, they undergo a metamorphosis. This pupal stage of when they become, a chrysalis, is when their psychic powers flourish on a level previously unseen. And it is these Shehulathoi that end up becoming very powerful psychic entities. And their bodies, they separate from their bodies. Their bodies go on to finish the metamorphosis, and they become this sort of moth-like insectoid butterfly creature. And they are only concerned with eating and mating and propagating the species, but they are mindless. Far cry from their larval and pupal stages. Well, this is because in their pupal stage, they mentally separate and become an astral being of pure psychic thought, and they peel away from their bodies, and they form their own society as this creature, as this entity, this psychic being. And eventually, when the Combine started breathing down the Shehulathoi's necks, they started tainting the sleep, or the pupal stage, of the Shehulathoi by releasing a virus into their populace that would infect them and make them become mad. And when you are a predominantly psychic being, madness is tantamount to death. And so, half the Shehulathoi went into a deep sleep to resist the Combine. The other half became the Combine advisors and are slaves. But there's a group of already existing adult Shehulathoi who are psychic entities. They're not under the Combine thumb. This is the G-Man. This is what the G-Man is. He is an adult Shehulathoi, a pure psychic being who can appear at any time, in any place, in any guise he wishes. And he and his employers, this is the employers that he's referring to, he is a middleman who basically is there to act on behalf of the Shehulathoi and either fuck the Combine and whatever their plans are, or liberate the remaining, the Combine advisors, liberate his remaining brethren. But that it's obviously implied that he has his own agenda. He wants to do his thing, which is probably megalomaniacal, and he's collecting powerful people to do it, like Gordon Freeman and Alex Vance, and whatever else he's doing. And also, he's fighting the Combine, because he put Gordon in Half-Life 2. He abducts Gordon at the end of Half-Life 1, makes him work for him, and then inserts Gordon into City 17 to fuck shit up in Half-Life 2. And then Gordon does. And Gordon single-handedly, along with the Combine, or the Resistance and the underground people, Gordon cuts off the Combine from the Combine homeworld for centuries. And it's all according to the chess master's will, the G-Man. But he has now, at the end of Half-Life Alyx, crossed the line. He has abducted our beloved Alex. We gotta make him pay. And ooh boy, will he pay. So, at the end of Half-Life Alyx, Eli Vance, who was killed at the end of Half-Life 2 Episode 2, Alex is given a deal with the devil by the G-Man to save her father's life, and the but is left open. Well, the but is you are now in the G-Man's service. Get fucked. You are his puppet. So that's what's happening. Well, now Eli's alive again. His death was retconned in universe. It isn't even a retcon from like a metaverse, or not metaverse, like a meta, where like an author pretends a thing didn't happen, or they rewrite their own history to pretend something didn't happen. Like, no, this is an in-universe alteration of time itself. And so now Gordon and Eli have no choice but to pump the brakes on their plan to go to the Borealis. That was Alex's plan, to go to the Borealis. Well, now Alex isn't here anymore. It's not Gordon and Alex, it's Gordon and Eli now. So what do? Well, Eli is a much wiser, more cautious man. He isn't in a reckless hurry to run off to the hinterlands and figure out how to mess with the Combine or defeat whomever. Eli has faith that calm, cool heads will prevail. How do we do this? Eli also knows that the Vortigaunts have a ton of power and a ton of secrets. The Vortigaunts are the key ally, the key pieces on the chessboard here. And so Eli suggests pumping the brakes on this go to the Borealis plan, because it's not going to work out. And they convene with the Vortigaunts. And the Vorts say, okay, we think, because the Vortigaunts know that Alex has been abducted. The Vortigaunts have this hive mind sense of being, and they can understand stuff has been messed with. Alex has been temporarily abducted. They know stuff's not right. So, their plan is drastic, but they think it will work. And so Eli is like, well, that's our only option. We got to try it. What is this plan that the Vortigaunts have? They agree to take Gordon and Eli to the mother antlion. Now, if we think back to Half-Life 2 Episode 2, Alex is mortally wounded in transit to the White Forest station. And the Vortigaunts have to use this antlion larval extract in order to save her from dying. And it succeeds, and it's a really good moment. When this happens, while you're going down into the antlion nest, and this is only one nest of like a lot of large networks of nests, when you're going down, the Vortigaunt that follows you says, oh yeah, we use antlion crap in our rituals and in our what is effectively pseudo magic. We use antlion stuff all the time. In fact, before we were made slaves by the Nihilanth, before Half-Life 1, the Vortigaunts were a tribal, hive mind race, and they did all sorts of shamanistic crap like this. It's just their way of life. And so they know that this larval extract is really important, which tells us that antlions have some pretty important, impressive things. And so the Vortigaunts know that this is a very risky thing because it means going into the heart of the antlion nest. It's the big one. It's the mother of all antlions. It's where we've seen that the antlions have a termite-esque society where they've got workers, fighters, and nurses that tend to the young, right? Well, the young gotta come from somewhere, don't they? Well, that would be the antlion queen, the antlion mother. And so that is their target. And so they manage to, and this is a big fight, obviously, giant fight down into the heart of the nest. And of course, Gordon Freeman can do it. Eli ends up having to retreat before eventually being allowed back into the nest once Gordon and the Vortigaunt incursion party get into the antlion queen's main chamber there. The Vortigaunts initially want to kill the queen because A, it will knock out the antlions and it will keep the antlion infestation down, but also B, the antlion queen's... The only way I can say this is that it is LSD on crack. The antlion queen's pheromone extract is literal temporal LSD. Through the carefully mediated use of that, you can fight the G-Man on his level, on the astral plane where the G-Man exists. You are capable of rescuing Alex at that point. And you get into the Queen's chamber, and the Queen has been expecting you. and she is also semi-psychic, and the Vortigaunts act as like a mouthpiece because the queen and the Vortigaunts can communicate. And the Vortigaunts basically get told, your plan will not work without my help. But that the G-Man is as much of a threat to us as he is to you guys. If all parties involved work together, we might just succeed, and then we can go our separate ways and no longer be, maybe we can live and let live. That kind of thing. Also, I think I got all the redstone done for this. I'm sorry, I'm getting really into this, but I thought a long, hard time about all this, so I do kind of want to get it off my chest. Anyway, and so the queen initially is the one who doses and mediates out this, pheromone, this queen pheromone extract. And you take the G-Man by surprise at first, and he's pissed. And your initial first fight with him, and this is like the end of the first act of Half-Life 3, and you fight the G-Man, and he's pissed because he didn't expect you to actually be able to do anything to, mess with him. And so he gets really, really, really upset, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna fuck you hard. I'm going to kill Eli, exactly as was originally, mediated out. Like, I can't really afford to kill you, Gordon Freeman, because you're too valuable. Also, that would just be a straight up game over. But I can kill Eli. I can kill your advisor, or your allies, and I can kill the Antlion Queen. And so he kills them. Like, literally fucking just murders them. And some of the Vortigaunts manage to sort of preempt this attack, and they get out of harm's way, but Eli and the Antlion Queen are dead. And so they return back, because remember, Vortigaunts can teleport. They teleport back into the main chamber there after Gordon has come down from this LSD, this temporal LSD trip. And they're like, okay, we've been dealt a dangerous blow, but there's one silver lining to this that the G-Man does not yet know. And that is the Antlion Queen, in her death, releases more of this, her dead body generates more of this temporal LSD, this Antlion Queen extract. And while the dosage is very, that has to be very carefully controlled, while that is important, and the Queen was the one dosing it, the Vortigaunts have done these sorts of rituals before. Eventually, one of the Vortigaunts reveals that this is how the Vortessence, which is the Vortigaunt hive mind, this is how that was made. Early primitive Vortigaunts used the Antlion Queen extract to create a temporal network of all Vortigaunts across time and space, and this is how they keep vigilant on their own race's state. And so that's why the Vortigaunts have this hive mind. They've done this queen stuff before. The G-Man didn't know that. And so they are all right with tapping Gordon into the Vortessence by weaving him in using the LSD from the queen. But the side effect of this is Gordon will not be able to come back. And so the world will tick on without him. But he may be able to free Alex, and he may be able to kill the G-Man. And so, of course, Gordon, he's a silent protagonist, but, whatever. He agrees. Why not? We're only like 2/3 of the way through the game, so we're not at the final battle. So clearly, the G-Man thinks he's won. He's riding off into the sunset. This is the perfect time to hit him while he's down, or not down, but while his back is turned. And so they do this. They successfully, ritualize Gordon into the Vortessence. And they succeed. And Gordon gets into the biggest knockdown, drag-out fight with the G-Man you can imagine. And so the last final fight is a gigantic corridor. But it is a temporal corridor. It is a corridor backward in time. And Gordon immediately gets back into a fight with the G-Man. Only this time, it's a sort of backward walking through all the areas and all the fights and all the struggles Gordon has been through. We see one section of this start off as the ambush in the warehouse there, where they were going to take off in that helicopter to go to the Borealis. We see the next sort of transition area is the area around the White Forest base. And then the next transition area is in the mines where Alex was injured. And then the next transition, it just keeps going backward and backward through prior events. And we keep spiraling, and the G-Man keeps getting more and more desperate as it's obvious Gordon's not letting up. And you're able to actually like shoot your guns and kill the G-Man. You're able to summon antlions from the Queen throughout time to attack the G-Man. And they actually do manage to hurt him. Oh, shut up, Zen, shut up. Shut up, Zen, stop. No, you can't say it before I say it. That's not fair. Anyway, and so we're spiraling back, and we finally get, as you said, all the fighting, we go back to Black Mesa. We end up in the portal chamber that was the portal to Zen. We end up in the early beginning chapter of right at the beginning of the Resonance Cascade. And the Resonance Cascade the anti-mass spectrometer machine is turned on Gordon as a weapon by the G-Man. And it burns up the whole ass area, you gotta dodge the lasers, that shit. And the G-Man is basically throwing anything at the wall to see what sticks, because Gordon is legitimately a threat to him now. And it's a sort of threat that he can't just like backhand and now like you're disabled, you're stopped, right? No, like Gordon is an existential threat to the G-Man at this point because he's on the G-Man's level. And finally, as you've guessed, Zen, we arrive at the final battle where the G-Man is killed, or rather the final blow, not final battle, the final blow where the G-Man is killed. And in his death thralls, he says, "You will never see Alex again." And he somehow, because he can like touch Gordon at this time. And the way he touches Gordon is he rips him out of the vortescence and into the normal world where he's back in Black Mesa. He's literally physically there again. He's not any longer in this temporal corridor, which is sort of an extended metaphor. Like he's literally there now. Like he's in Black Mesa. The G-Man is gone. The G-Man dies to do this, but he's gone. And Gordon is in the test chamber, beaten, bloodied, and battered, but he's alive, and he gets up, and he looks around, and the anti-mass spectrometer is in exactly the position that it was in. The cart rises up out of the little bay, and the voices over the intercom say, "Gordon, are you going to push the cart in? What are you doing? Hurry up, man. We don't have all day." And he gets up and he's like super like paranoid as to what this will do. And he takes out a gun that he still has a gun on him, and he destroys the cart. And of course everybody freaks the fuck out, and they're like, "What are you doing, Gordon? Where'd you get that weapon? Like, what happened?" And they of course emergency shutdown. Now the cascade never gets engaged, and so they can shut it down. And they're like, "What the hell happened? What happened to you?" Because Gordon is battered, beaten, and bloodied. His hazard suit's been through hell. It's like 30 years old, 20 years old, something like that. Like, it's not the standard gear he walked into the chamber with. Also, he has weaponry he shouldn't have. And all of this stuff. Like, it's obvious something has transpired. And no matter what happens, security interrogates him. They strip him of all his stuff. They try their damnedest to figure out what happened. The administrator is furious. Remember, this is Breen. And they can't get anything out of him. He's staying silent. Because, again, he's a silent protagonist. And he's like, "Okay, I have averted the apocalypse. Even if they throw me in the dankest, darkest prison they have, I still won." And that's that. And eventually, we time skip to about a week later. Gordon is let out of a holding cell there in Black Mesa security. Because I imagine, they have a security force. They would have cells. And they fired him. And he is summarily, gone. And they say that they will be pressing charges. But Gordon simply smiles, gathers his things and walks out the front door. And there's a bus there. Remember, Black Mesa is in a desert. So there's a charted bus to get him to civilization, get him away. And as he's getting on the bus, he sees out to his side. Oh, rather, as he's walking out of the dorm. Sorry, I got to do this first before we get to the bus. He's going out the dorm, and he looks to his left, and he sees Eli, Eli's wife, and a young Alex waving him goodbye, as well as Isaac Kleiner. And they're waving him goodbye, and they're like, best of travels, Gordon. Good luck to you. Sorry things had to end this way, but, we know you had your reasons, because Eli and Kleiner know Gordon the best. They know that something's not right. And the reason that he stayed silent all this time, he didn't fuck up for no reason. Like, he had his there's a reason for all this. And so they bid him farewell, and this is not a criminal thing, so the police haven't shown up to arrest him or anything. So he's not, like, being arrested for that. This is a civil thing, because he damaged their property, so they're going to sue him, basically. But that, for the most part, he's free to go for now. So he's getting on the bus after, seeing Eli and Alex and all that, and leaving. And he gets on the bus, and a Vortigaunt is the driver. And the Vortigaunt simply says, You, above all others, have aided us most in our time of need. We too shall aid you now as you have us, now and forever. The Vortigaunts can come here and help him. And he basically says, no, I want to live here. I want to have my peace. And the Vortigaunts, because remember, the Vortigaunts all have this hive mind, so they all know. So they know that he doesn't want to be part of their fight anymore. And they accept that he has resigned from the war and that he is basically free. He is, he gets his happy ending, kind of. But nobody will know what happened to Gordon Freeman, or rather, what happened during Gordon's experiences. And so Gordon has had what I refer to as Hell Week. Finally, he is at the end of the 2 weeks of hell. Because you have to understand, Half-Life 1 takes place over about a 24-hour period. He's abducted by the G-Man, put into City 17, and even though it's 20 years later for everyone else, it's just the next day for him. Gordon's going and going and going and going. And then he fucks up City 17, and then they escape City 17. Well, this is another 24-hour period. And so then they get to White Forest. Well, that's another 24-hour period. And then they go to the Antlion Queen, and that's another 24 hours. So, like, all of this... Shut up, Ellie. All of this has been about 1 week of hell. Hell Week. And then one more week after that where he was in solitary confinement there at Black Mesa, and finally is let go. And that's that. Gordon gets to ride his charted bus off to civilization, and he's done with theoretical physics. And he takes up garage work. And we see him a few months later doing garage stuff, doing engineering, because he actually kind of likes that more. And he's like, yeah, this is what scratches that itch. This is what I love more. And he'll probably be financially ruined by Black Mesa because they're a government outfit. They've got deep, deep pockets, and his life is not at all what it could have been. But he is free, and the world is at peace. The Combine will hopefully never plague humanity. Alex will get to grow up in a world that is fairly normal and peaceful. Eli doesn't have to lose his wife. The G-Man, the scourge of the G-Man, has been gotten rid of. And finally, the world can heal. And that is that. Yes, this is the arena game. This is the Arkhanrettia arena shooter. So, yeah. That is that. So what y'all think of that? Like I said, I had a long time to think about all this. Oh my god. Whew. It really takes it out of you to tell stuff like that. Hold on, I gotta get Ellie out of here. She'll bother me if I don't. Go. Hush, leave. What a whiny little kitty she can be. Okay. And then he shaves and see himself in the mirror. He is the G-Man. No, nothing silly like that. Actually, maybe the Vortigaunt being the bus driver is like silly. Maybe instead we have the Vortigaunt be a passenger on the bus. Like he's out of view of the driver. Or something like that. And so, thus ends the Ballad of Gordon Freeman. Okay, I'm going to fill all of this in with glass so that I can put it in place and have it all be as I want it to be. This is just so that it won't, so that all the negative space inside the game can be properly soaked up. It's good. You like it. Thank you. I appreciate it. There are so many various properties and things that just they're just totally unfinished and they're just left dangling, you know? And it's just such a shame. And well, why can't some of those things be finished, you know? So God, I hope we get a Half-Life 3 or something to kind of make it all make sense. Okay. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that. Man, I really got into that. Holy shit. I don't normally get into my own stuff that well. Or that intently. But yeah. Are we dosing on hopium or is it Arkhanrettia lore? Oh, sorry, Pies. No, this was, that was my fan fiction of how Half-Life 3 should go. My personal sort of wrapping up of Half-Life as a whole. Oh, shit. Undo. Oh, but yeah. That was a fun creative writing exercise. Oh, shit. Okay, so this section's not going to be filled in. There we go. Good, you liked it. Okay. Thank you, Stone Cold Killer. I appreciate your thumbs up. I hope you all got to hear most of, if not all of that. Just so that it'll all make sense, you know? I would hate for people to be, like, lost halfway through all that and be like, I don't understand what the hell you just said. I'm sure there will be some, but no, it's unavoidable, really. Okay, this area has not been filled in. Bam. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, I nearly forgot. So there was actually another mechanic that I wanted to add in. I wanted some areas to open and close. How would I best do that? So I was thinking of having the doorway here. Yeah, right here. I was thinking of having these doorways open and shut as a, maybe there's not always a way in, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I think that'll be cool. I think that'll work. All right, cool. Yeah, it only needs to shut on one end. So I think that'll be plenty. Now then, so yeah, every so often this will... Whoop. Yeah, I thought that would happen. Hmm? Wait a sec. Quick, if you can, how do you play? Didn't catch that part. I only came in at the end of the third-ish. I also haven't played Half-Life. Oh, Stone. I'm so sorry, man. I probably just ruined a fair amount of it for you then. Because, like, a lot of Half-Life... To be fair, a lot of Half-Life is already known. So, like... maybe I haven't ruined that much. I don't know. Whatever. I highly recommend you play it whenever you can. Half-Life is a great game. Great series, really. Okay. Why then did... Oh, no, the whole thing does. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Open that up. That opens up. Hooray! It works! It's fucking magic. Fucking magnets, how do they work? Okay. So that's that. Cool. Now I just need to hook that into here. And I'm going to make a percentage chance for the arena shooter door, for the ammo atrium doors to, or ammo alcove, that was the word I went with. I'm going to give it a chance to, like, not succeed. Anyway, so how do you play Stone Cold Killer? Well, so what will happen is we will come down this central staircase. This is in the floor here, over here in Arkhanrettia. I will tell you. So you walk into the game here. There's a little lobby area there. I will show you. You walk into the lobby. You will get... Oh, I need to add the bow rental, but that's a special thing. Like, that's not difficult. And so you walk in here. You actually probably only need like one bed. I'll get 2 beds there just in case. And then I'll put bed, game bed. Okay. Yeah, so you can sleep there to set your spawn point. Not that it matters. I do actually need to mark this, however. Oh. There we are. Bed, chambers. Why not? It's a shame you can't write on both sides of the sign on 2B2T, but oh well. All right, now this one's going to be annoying because I don't think, yeah, you can't hang that on that. Oh, what a pain. Well, I was going to have it say bow rental, And then I'm going to have this say main entrance. Game. Oh, shit. It's one line too low. Wah. Game entrance. Perfect. All right. And then this will be bow. Rentals. There we have it. Okay. It's probably good enough for the moment. So yeah, what you'll do is you'll come in here, set your spawn. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of, I need to, while I'm still thinking about it, let's get some trapdoors. Some polished blackstone buttons. Water buckets. Soul sand. Oh, can't put that here. That's annoying. No, that's... I don't know. Would a slab over top cause problems? Maybe? Because, like, you can't walk into this. You have to crouch into it. So, like, maybe... Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Might fuck with people a little bit, but I think it'll be all right. We can have a pearl stasis chamber here. Can't really have one there. Again, it eats into the wall a little bit too much. We can have 3 on this wall, though. Maybe that doesn't matter. You're good at forgetting? Okay, good. Well, then you'll probably not worry about it. Or you won't need to worry about it. Just remember, Half-Life 2 is one of the best games ever made. If you want to enjoy, you know, a game, it probably won't matter if you know what will happen in it or not. Realistically, spoilers don't actually ruin the enjoyment of a game. Not really. Because, like, if that were true, then... like, you wouldn't ever replay a game, you know? Like, subsequent replays of a game would be pointless. What would be their value? Oh, shit, nuggets. I hate that. Stop fucking putting me in survival mode. I only want creative and spectator. God damn. Okay, it's funny to me that as we as a species can go to space, we can't explain how spicy rocks work. What do you mean spicy rocks? What is that? What is that a reference to? Ah, you like my playlist. Thank you, Tom. Move the beds back? Nah, they're fine. They're fine on that wall. It'll be all right. What is spicy rocks? Are you referring to the magnets comment that I made? Like, that's an ICP reference. Insane Clown Posse. Like, that was a joke at their expense because they're all stupid as fuck. And really, the entire ICP fandom certainly has its problems. Oh well. Not, damn it. Not really the point. Okay. Oh yeah, Magnet. I have to put safety chambers on the constructions. On 2B is like the bathrooms in real life construction. Maybe use last build. I mean, it's not really like the last thing we do, but it's important. It's definitely something you shouldn't forget. You'll need a few pearl chambers. Probably why you see construction's faults in those, I guess. Doors that can't open passed by toilets. Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem, certainly. Pow. You probably don't need the buttons, realistically. I think the buttons look nice, though. Actually, no. I should put buttons only in decorative spots where they can't interfere with redstone. Good enough. Okay, that reminds me, I need to put buttons on surfaces because buttons are cool. Nah, fuck it. My English is clunky and I smoke like a campfire. You can't just move that bed wall back? Yeah, I could, but what would it matter? Like, it's not that big of a deal. Is it? There, see? I mean, it's just a bed, yeah. Ammo pops up during the game, yes. You don't get ammo on or by default. Like, if I give you any ammo by default, I might only give you one arrow or something. I haven't decided. As for this room, this is where you will get your bow. I'll have to design that later. Oh, shit. Is this going to interfere? Yes, it will. Can't put those on that wall. Stone, water, sticky piston, regular block, slab. Definitely need these. I think that'll do. Oh. That's not an observer. I forgot I was putting the chamber closer things here. There we go. Yeah, that'll work. Oh. It's a hair too low. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bam. There we have it. So that should shut that door. Yeah. And that should open that door. Perfect. Oh! I'm dumb. I just suddenly remembered I was gonna have it be on a 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That comparator. Yeah. That'll work. That'll work. That is exactly enough space. Comparator, hopper, dropper. Okay. So that comes out. That has this. That has that. Perfect. So now, every time a signal comes through this line from the brain, the central area of the game, carries on through here. We have a 1 in X amount of chance. I don't know. It'll probably be 1 in 5. 1 in 5 is just often enough to be fun, but not too fun, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. So bows, just bows. Yes. How often does ammo pop up, and does it despawn after a little or a stack? You're going to get maybe 1 arrow from each one of these ammo dispensers, or these droppers that will drop 1 arrow. You'll get 1 arrow. It'll be a random potion-tipped arrow. And you'll have a 1 in 5 chance of each one of these firing. And it'll be your job to run around in here, run around inside this structure, and find these ammo alcoves in which to get your ammunition. But the door to the ammo alcoves has the chance of shutting. So you might not always be able to get in there. But there is a back entrance at the very, very, very bottom back here. There's a back entrance and a major central staircase that acts as a sort of spine to the whole place. And if you're lucky, you can get in through one of these ammo alcoves from the back. Each one of these has a way into it. So there's this little, area. People can camp you. So you're not guaranteed to get in an arrow. But the whole point is that you're not supposed to get that many arrows. As for how often, that depends. I'm probably going to do it every 45 seconds. Every 45 seconds, this clock will turn over, and you'll have the chance for each one of these ammo alcoves to dispense an arrow and also shut the door. Or open the door if it's already closed. So you have the chance to get one, maybe. Something like that. So, yeah. That's how that works. So that should work with that. Bam. Did I get this door? I did not. Stack that up. Wait a sec. Move that forward. There we go. Bam, bam. Wire her up. Perfect. Okay, that can only see if there happens to be... Okay, that's what, 3, bam. So that, yeah, that closes that. We'll just open that real quick. There. Just do powered rail because it's easy to dupe. It's the only thing we can dupe. Not really a surprise, to be honest. Dust there. Okay. That should pop that. I think that'll work. Yeah. Well, remember the unthinkable that happened at a bed? Why? What was the unthinkable that happened at a bed? Could be a good idea for the RNG to put a different type of arrow. You will have 1 of 5 potential potion-tipped arrows. Glowing, poison, slowness, harming 2, and, Are there no other negative arrows that would be worth your time? Maybe just a regular arrow then. Maybe. I don't know. Well, whatever. We will figure that out. It'll definitely be several different types of arrow per dispenser. So it's not even like we're all on the same footing here. Like, you're all going to have different things happening at once. It'll be fun, I promise. Ocean's Anomalous Arena Shooter was very, very similar. In fact, I've really not changed any of the mechanics with this compared to that. Like, the doors just may or may not open or close. That's really it. Like, the old arena shooter in Ocean's Anomalous had the arrows pop out of the floor. And also, you would occasionally get food. I've cut out the food because there's no point. There's a Regen 2 beacon right here. So you don't need food. Not that it isn't a bad idea to have that, but we've got Regen 2 as an option. So, like, you're probably fine. And we've got, you know, all of that. So, you know, it's pretty good. It'll work. It'll work. Stack that. That, this, that, this, that. No, it's got to be that way. That's not an observer. All right, 3 bits of redstone. That. Dropper. Hopper. Dropper, hopper, flopper, dopper. Flopper, mopper. Okay, pull a signal off this line. Send it on in there. Good enough. This is also power. Yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4. Good enough. And there we have it. That's 1 door down. A few more to go. Oh, shit. Whoops. That is not correct. Move that out. Let's instead... Oh, I'm going to have to move all of this. God damn it. Yeah, just did it again. Okay. Son of a bitch. There we go. Okay. I'm going to have to move that over one. I knew it would drop all the redstone. I hate that. Why does it have to do that? Fucking world edit. Okay. I need a distance of 3 blocks. Three. Perfect. Okay, same mechanic should function. This time the door is shut from this edge, so you can't tell from this corner going down this way. You can't tell if this is open or closed. So you're just going to get the rude awakening of knowing it's closed or opened or not. I like that. While I'm at it, let me make sure I'm not fucking this up. And making it known from behind. Yeah. I gotta move this over a block. Move that back. There we go. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. Gotta make sure I get it all hidden. Because, like, from this junction you can't tell, and then from the front it doesn't look bad. Because it looked kind of bad if the redstone is exposed in any way. There we go. So, like, done. I think that's good enough. Now, is this dark? No, it is not dark enough. Never mind, we're good. You really think you're not out there a dupe with the amount of elytras they sold every day on 2BT apples and kits in general? Now, that stuff's old. That stuff is likely very old. I doubt it is as recent as you might think. Or, well, as recent as you may be willing to trick yourself into hoping it is. I agree, there probably are dupes and stuff, but they're extremely private. But when I'm saying you can dupe Rails, well, you can. Like, it's the only vanilla legit dupe that's possible on the server. But it's just Rails. No one cares. Rails don't matter. At least not to most people. I mean, I could understand if you were, like, doing a giant minecart something or other, but, like, no. For the most part, this is just not... It just doesn't matter. Okay, cool. That does that. Bam. Bam, bam. Cool. Let's get... off that line. There we go. Good enough. Yeah. Okay. Perfecto. I mean, carpet duper. Yeah, carpet duping, right. Carpet, rail, and TNT. Those are the only things you're legally allowed to dupe. But, like, apart from the TNT and maybe some of the carpet, you know, that's it. Like, nobody really cares that much. I'm on your board. Okay. We still live off the chunk dupe items 7 years later. Exactly. Like, it just is that good. The chunk dupe was absurd. Move that back. This also needs to be moved over. Can't believe I put all this in the wrong spot. Whatever. Not that big a deal. Just annoying. Okay. Now... Bam. 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 Oh. Whatever, we'll just use extra. We'll just use an extra thing there. Nobody needs to know. It's our secret. Shh. That can be our little secret. Okay, if I actuate that, does it look bad? Yes, it looks bad. Oh, that's right, and all the glass is there. Shit. Thought I had my thing selected. Okay, got that. I gotta remember I'm filling all this in with glass as well, so... The glass will not be in the final product, it's just purely for doing stuff. It'll displace material that I don't want being there. There we go. 2016, they weren't a thing, I don't think. What was? Remember those 3 were disabled? Yes, yes. They ended up re-enabling it because it is technically vanilla. Till Mojang has a reason to patch it or whatever. Yeah, when we initially updated to 119, TNT duping, rail and carpet duping were all undoable. Which is funny because string duping was viable pretty much from the outset. You know what? I'll just do that. Stack that a few blocks down. I love working in a void world. I can just toss out garbage I don't want in my inventory and just throw it on the floor and it'll be all okay. Like tossing your peanuts out on the floor, or tossing the peanut shells out on the floor of a Logan's. God rest their soul. Pretty sure Logan's is dead. Shit, so is Roadhouse, or no, what was it? Texas, not Texas Roadhouse, what was it? Yeah, it was Logan's. Yeah, that was a Roadhouse grill place. They don't have them anymore. They went out of business, I believe. Ah, well. Cool. Bing, bang, boom. That should shut this, but it's all full of glass, so I'm not going to test it, but I know it'll work. Yeah, that's in place. That 2 is in place, and that 3 is in place. Hell yes. Good team job. I play the server myself. I know how you can farm better now. Even with that, this is too much. Yeah, exactly. Like, dupes will likely never come back. If I'm being honest. I would not be shocked if we never really get another dupe ever again. Or at least not a really good public dupe. Ow, 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 my ear. Glass 100. Oh well. Most people get the shop idea right after stealing a stash. Yeah. Somebody know if data value works on 2B? No, data values have never worked past 113. The flattening made sure no data value machine will ever work again. Trying to find a fast, mostly non-manual goat farm that isn't on another roof. Ooh. Your best bet is with portals. Giant portals in the overworld. That's your only option, really. Ah. Do 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 do. Okay, so, fill up this area in here. It's going to be a lot of annoying air pockets to fill in, but that's fine. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm just stupid. Never mind. I just suddenly realized the much, much smarter way to do this. Brush. Sphere. Glass. 50. Mask. Air. G-mask. Exposed. Although 50 may be a bit excessive. Wait, air that is exposed. Oh. Duh, that's stupid. There we are. Okay. Uh-oh. Huh? Why did some of these buttons... Why did some of these buttons get fucked? That wasn't in the deal. There we go. Much better. Rutrow, I see button. It overwrote Redstone? Are you serious? Odd. Whatever, that's not gonna matter. I mostly just want the inside to be filled with glass. Any play area, any area you'd run around in, I want that filled with glass so that it will erase stone and other material when I get rid of a lot of the excess stuff there. That should theoretically do it, though. Okay. Brush, sphere, air, 50, mask, glass, G-mask, exposed. Okay. So everything in here is not exposed, so it should theoretically stay filled with glass. Looks like it is. It's sus that time passed and we not see a shortage of some items and they're not easy to auto farm. It's just sus. Gapples are, from what I understand, quite expensive. You can't farm gapples. That would be an item that, admittedly, it's probably not anywhere near ready to be shortened. Like, there's no shortage of gapples, probably for a very good reason. But I mean, yeah, we will probably see a shortage of certain items. That is natural. I'm not saying that won't happen, but you are underestimating just how many items were. Are you fucking serious? The inside of this got... What the fuck? Huh? Yeah, this entire area in here got encased. Oh my god. Okay. Undo. How many undos am I gonna have to? Nothing left to undo. Shit. Well, on the bright side, that's a much smaller, easier to fix space than not. Oh, right. G-mask. I should probably just put in 2 beacons, or 2 sets of beacons, now that I think about it. Because, like, I'm not getting the beacon effects all over the game, and that's why. It's just too small of an area. And I'm like, it is necessary for you to get those effects, so I should probably just go ahead and put in, yeah. Anyway, yeah, most people get the shop ID right after seeing a stash. Yeah, it's beginning to look like I have a lot of obsidian mining in my future. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Endosulfan. Good luck. Obsidian is not a fun item to farm. Ow. Brush, sphere, glass. 10. Mask, air. Okay. So that leaves a large segment there. That gets rid of this. Any air bubbles in here. Uh-oh. Okay. Brush, sphere, air, 20. Mask, glass. G-mask, exposed. So anything exposed to air should go. That should shrink these areas. Everything in here seems to be coated. Yeah, that's fine. Reason I want all this in, covered in glass is because it will displace unnecessary materials like stone and other things that would be in the area. Speaking of farming, dubs of stone farming are in the near future. Oh yeah. You can get a pretty good auto stone generator on 2B. You just look it up. It's doable. I know it is. Okay. I got it all. I got it all. Save for some of this. Some of this glass I can do easily. Oh, and then I got to do the bow rental. Although bow rental is not going to be difficult. That's just a press button, receive bow kind of thing. Good enough, I'd say. Yeah, we'll just put that there. Take that off. Fill this with glass. That'll work. Okay, and then probably just put it in the floor. Why not? Here we go. Put a barrel full of bows right there. And then make it obvious that this is the return hopper. Uh-oh. Did I hit? No, I didn't hit the thing. Okay, cool. Fill that with glass. That with glass. Okay, cool. So that's the button return. This is where got to put a sign here. Press to rent a bow. Ooh. There we go. Press to rent a bow. That's fairly straightforward. We just put like this. That is on that, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to make this needlessly complicated. No, I'm just kidding. Probably not that complicated. Nope, wrong way. There we go. Okay, and so when we press that down, that lands here. There. That into this. Bam, bam, bam. Simple. Press that down, 1 tick pulse, pow. Shoots the thing up into your feet. Yeah, I think that'll work. And we just fill this up with bows. Probably high enchanted bows. You know, like really high end, super, you know, kill in 1 hit, maybe 2 hits kind of thing, and go from there. Press to rent a bow. I kind of want to put more decoration in this room, but I don't know. And then we'll have this be bow return. Shoot. There we go. And voila! We have it finished. I think the game is, that's pretty much it. Like, I think the game is ready to play. Now, obviously, we got to make this on 2B2T, and I've got to get all the arrows made. That's a pain. And then I got to get the bows made, which is a little easier. Not as bad. I might only go with power 4. I don't know. Oh, shit. I just suddenly realized. Oh, yeah, I've got to make a board here. I got to actually explain the rules. Right. Yeah, that would be very important, wouldn't it? All right, well, the board's very easy to do. All right. Yeah, that's about centered, I would say. Fuck. Too many. How did that go down 2 spaces instead of only 1? Arkhanrettia. Smack that over there. Arkhanrettia. Arena. Rules. Shooter. Oh, fuck. Arena would go here. Colon. Get rid of all that. Okay, Arkhanrettia. Arena shooter rules. God damn it. Arena did go to there. Okay. I'm getting worn down. I can feel it. There we go. Arkhanrettia Arena Shooter Rules. Okay. Number 1. No hacks of any kind. Turn that shit off. Yeah, I'll just put an exclamation point. Fuck. No hacks of any kind. Turn that shit off. Number 2. Bows are the only valid form of kill. No other damage of any kind. No damage of any other kind. Nothing else will count. There we go. Nothing else will count. Number 3. No hacks. Put all your belongings in your... God damn it. I hate the character limits on signs. And your e-chest. As you should be naked while playing. Nope. Playing this game. No food. No secret weapon. No potions. Nothing. 3, 4. Make sure to set your bed or set a pearl. I'll learn to spell one of these days. Pearl in the station. I would love to put the word appropriate, but oh well. Whatever. 5. Rent a bow to participate in space. Don't be late, as late admissions, as late people will not be admitted. Ammo will be supplied in game. Perfect. Okay, what are they? 5, 6. You must be the last remaining player to score a valid win. Last player, 6, 7. Is there a 7? Is there even a 7th point to hit upon? By the way, is there a bot script to auto farm obsidian with portal generation? I don't know. Ah, okay. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that might just do it. Trying to think of anything that's like... Oh. Good luck. Have fun. Oh. Oh, son of a bitch. That's supposed to go there. That's supposed to go there. Let's 4. I'll just do it there. Why not? Whatever. Okay. I think the oceans, or not ocean, god damn it, I keep saying that. I think the Arkhanrettia arena shooter is ready to go. Still want to do something in this room. Just don't know what. Oh, That reminds me. This should all be... Set some glass. There we go. Even though it will be darker in there, it doesn't matter. Ender chest for your convenience. Set your bed. Set your pearl. Cool. Rent a bow. Start the game. Don't be late. Goes on. Game is in progress. Actually, one final bit. Old sign trick. We'll do on and off. No. On and off. It's kind of the inverse of normal, but whatever. Okay. And that'll shut that. Turns that on. Actually, yeah, I do kind of want to make another beacon. Like right here. Two, three. Oh, wait. Isn't this going to be... Yeah, this is going to be in the way. Never mind. Gonna have to, like, put it right here. Well, we'll see. 4. Stack. Stack. And stack. Speed. Jump boost. And regen. Do. What the? These are off because the game is off, right? Yeah, the door is not blocked. The lamp is not on. What else? All of this is where it should be. Yeah, that'll slide into place, which turns... Oh! Okay, never mind. This is supposed to be on. Right, because every time this cycles... There we go. It freezes and it fires all of these, but that should be fine. Okay, so the game is now off. It's definitely off. Gotta do this. Whoops. Yeah, that'll work. And there we have it. Easily fixed. I feel like that's how I should have done this, but whatever. Okay. 2 sets of beacons should give everything to everybody. Just need stock arrows, stock randomizers, make the bows, build the damn thing. I think that'll work. Yeah, I think this will do. And so I can position 1. Hey, yes, man. Great stream. Thank you, Worm. Position 2. Okay. And then I can stand like right here. Yeah, that'll work. Copy. Wow. 3 minutes. Well, that's mostly air, I bet. Yeah. Oh shit, where did I stand? Oh my god, I've forgotten. I'm gonna stand on this edge here. Okay. Paste without air. Bam. Now that probably ruined a ton of redstone. But that's okay. This is not the schematic portion. Let me replace near glass with air. 41,000 blocks of glass. Wow. The glass is not important. Oh, yeah, item frames. I should probably have put that in there. Oh my god, did I somehow miss? Yeah, kinda. Wow, I did. I missed the washing station. Cool. I also like that you can't see what's in an item frame from behind it. Neat. Well, no, I didn't totally miss it. I had some shit here. What was this? Nothing. Okay, that was just a previous thing. And then obviously there's no direct light here. This is gonna get cock-blocked by stuff, isn't it? Oh, crap, it is. Yeah, those are solid blocks. There's no way that's gonna work. And I'm not building, or unbuilding, rather. Yeah, I would have to redo quite a bit of stuff. Okay, so that second beacon can't sit here. It's gonna have to like be moved. Where has clear access to the sky? basically nowhere over here. Okay. Well, that sucks. Could move it farther over. Yeah, I've already built sufficiently in this area, so the odds are good. Oh no, this area. Perfect, like right here. Give me some iron. Oh. What's in the way up there? Can I move it? Nope, it's a solid fucking wall. Okay, well we just need to move 2 more blocks this way. Okay. Yeah, right here will do as a beacon. I could probably just move this beacon instead because I don't need that. This seems to be fine. Let me... do that. Do all of these light up? No, we are being interrupted. Well, now, if that's a solid block, that can be removed. It shouldn't be that bad, right? If it's just one solid block in the way. Oh, that's why that's there. Fuck, we can't remove that. There we are. Okay, well then I just need to move 1 farther block over this way. Okay, well that's easy. Easy to fix. The beacon, however. Yeah, that'll definitely work. Okay. All right, so... this will need to be moved. Hate that it does that, but what can you do? It's like it duplicates the redstone a little bit, but not really. It's odd. And then this isn't going to... this isn't going to be anywhere near good enough. I'm going to have to move this, like, way farther afield. Trying to figure it out without having to, like, directly calculate it. I end the farming, stack of beacons. Cool. Congrats, Zen. Okay. So if I do... if I go straight back, how many blocks back from these beacons can I go? Oh, shit. Block. Okay. whatever, that gets me the right Y level. Okay. So that is 59 blocks. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 59 blocks. I'm sorry, and 8. So 59 blocks this way, 8 blocks that way. Cool. Stack this 58 blocks that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is where the beacons can start. Okay. What the fuck? Did I break that? Oh my god, I broke it. No, I didn't. Okay. I was like, there's no way. Okay. Move that down 20 blocks. Move it another 20 down. Perfect. All right. Yeah, that's fine. Don't need the iron, don't need the beacon. Good on that. Bam. Well, this doesn't need to be here anymore. Oh. So that's the route to the brain. There really isn't an easy way. Let's go this way instead. Can I go out this direction? Yes, I can. Oh. Oh, well, shit. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fuck it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it was a little janky and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. That'll do it. Okay, so that placement should work out. So yeah, that should slide in and out of place easily. And so too should this. Perfect. And then, just for added fun, one final touch. Blackstone brick, blackstone polished. Stack this up like 5 blocks that way. But this is going to have to be stacked a bunch, like 40 blocks, I think. There we go. So that will ensure that there is enough stuff and that these can occupy the thing, the space, and that it will have room for the beacon beams. Oh, what am I doing? Wall? No, these should be glass. Here we go. And I think that'll do it for the oceans. I keep wanting to say oceans. For Arkhanrettia's arena shooter, I think we got it good. The whole game should reasonably function. Like, it really is just a simple system with like 2 or 3 different things that it does, and that's it. Obviously, we'll be doing a dry run, probably on 2B2T, but we can't dry run until we've actually got this stuff built. So it is what it is. Yeah, apart from that, I think you all will excuse me if I go and excuse myself for the evening. Yeah, I think this will be good. Replace near glass as air. I want to get rid of all the glass. Okay, I think I got rid of all the glass in the whole area. Should be a ton of glass down here, right? Or did I get rid of all this too? Zero blocks. Yeah, I got it all. Okay. Damn, yeah. I do feel like I should probably put more Blackstone buttons on things, but that's a flourish I'll put on here in private, and you all will just get to see the final product. I think that'll be pretty cool. So yeah, you all have a great night. I will catch you all tomorrow for yet more Building with Jack.